worked at Rocky for 48 years. 1975. Well, I started out working I was working in the warehouse. And then I got promoted to a supervisor. And then I got promoted again to director of purchasing. Well, I'm currently in Iowa. They had a factory here as well. So that factory also closed and was sold. So, like I said, I retired in November. So I've been on like a little mini vacation since November. Then I got promoted again to director of operations. And then I transferred from Ohio. They asked me to be the general manager in the Caribbean factory called Lifestyle Footwear. I was there for 20 years in Puerto Rico. It was fun. I learned a lot of good people, and great experience, yes. Well, when I was 18 years old, my father said, I need to speak to you. This was a Sunday afternoon. He said, you need to find a job. And you need to find a full-time job. So I went and interviewed the very next morning with a gentleman by the name of Henry Kimball. That was 8:30 in the morning. I finished the interview, and he said, you're hired, you can start. So I assumed he meant next Monday. No, sir. You can start right now.
But I just can't imagine, that's most of your life at that point for 48 years.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of part of the family at that point.
Well, that was a difficult decision for Rocky, but, business is business, and you got to do what's best to grow your business. So it was difficult, but, a lot of good people in Nelsonville. But always remember this, once they even moved the business out of Nelsonville, and you live there, I'm sure, so you see it every day, there's, you got the distribution now in Logan, Ohio, you got the corporate office there in Nelsonville, so the people, that lost their job in manufacturing, all that was replaced with the people now is in the corporate office and the HR department and sales and distribution center in Logan, Ohio. To me, it was more helpful because, like I said, if you wouldn't have made the change, you couldn't compete in the manufacturing. Some people, it was, you're affecting families, so I'm sure it was difficult for some people. And but they, like I said, it was a tough decision. But I think at that time the CEO was Mike Brooks, and he made the right decision. And in the footwear business, you have highs and lows. And what I mean by highs and lows, it's just like they do military contracts. You may get a military contract that will last 2 years, maybe up to 4 years. And then you bid on military contracts. So then maybe you run military contracts for 4 years, and then you don't get another one for 3 years later. So yeah, there's struggles in this business. There's what I call peak years, and there's what I call low volume years. When you look at businesses, a lot of businesses have production in U.S. and also they have production overseas nowadays. So, like I said, if you look at Rocky's the biggest current employer there in that area, I'm sure. So they've rebuilt that, and like I said, they put their distribution. You drive by the corporate offices every day. You drive by the outlet store. So when they took production out, they replaced it with, distribution, corporate office. Yeah, Rocky started as William Brooks Shoe Company. And you're right, it was a small company. But, you had the Brooks family. It was very devoted to not only the business, but also devoted to the community. So, I had the experience. I worked with John Brooks, who was the original founder. Then I worked with his son, which was Mike Brooks, who became the CEO. And then I've also worked with John's grandson, who is the current CEO, which is Jason Brooks. So the Brooks family was very demotivated, very determined, great people, very dedicated to Rocky,